Hey everyone, I'm Els and welcome back to my YouTube channel where I mostly talk about books. And it's been a while, again. Second year of university has really hit me and I've also moved. This is my new flat and it's just me here, so I can film in my living room. Due to the moving in process, I don't have broadband for the next 9 days, so I'm on my limited data until then, which I am just using for university work at the moment. So I thought that's a perfect excuse to do a mini readathon at some point. So that is what I'm going to do, based on the fact that I've got too many books that I have not read, both here and with my family. So yeah, here I am, take you on this journey with me to do some reading. Oh, but first I'll give you a little look at my new bookshelf stroke coffee table, because yeah, I'm using that as my table as well. And yeah, it's a great use of space. I get to have a giant bookshelf as the main feature in the middle of my room, living area. Yeah, don't know where I was going with that, but I'll give you a look at what it looks like. It's a little bit dark because it's the evening, but here's like a interesting high quality panning of my bookshelves. So yeah, those are my bookshelves. Because I'm bad at figuring out what books I want to read in what order, I'm just going to add up all my books and use a random number generator in order to figure out which ones I'm going to read. Cool, so the book that was picked out for me was this one. It's The Feast by Margaret Kennedy, and I got this one from a little independent bookshop in my university town, called The Bookshop by the Sea, because it is a town by the sea and this is also set by the sea. It's set at a crumbling seaside hotel, so pretty good on the vibes. And with that, I'm gonna check you in once I've read a little bit. Cool, I am on page 10. I've read the prologue and the first chapter and I'm already intrigued. It's already fun. So I'm gonna try not to give any spoilers across this book, but I will give vague, ooh, something big happened or something like that. If I do give spoilers, I'll give you a warning and a moment to skip to afterwards. Right, anyways, so far is following a reverend who has to give a sermon at a funeral for the deaths of these people who died when a cliff collapsed onto this seaside hotel. And that's what's happened so far. In the prologue, he was writing the sermon, and in the first chapter he was giving the sermon and being interrupted by different people. I thought it was very well written, and I'm liking it so far, but like I can't really judge much so far because it's only 10 pages in. I mean, slightly longer because the prologue's in what's the term? Roman numerals, that's what it's in. So slightly more than that, but technically 10 pages. Anyways, I'm going on. Back to the book. The next 2 chapters were in letter format. They were letters, and I'm reading the next chapter and it's a diary entry, so that's interesting. I still like it though. It's good. I like it. I'm just over 50 pages in and most chapters seem to be following a different character, and from what I've noticed is they seem to go in reverse chronological order, from chapter 1 and they keep going back, this may change, but they're definitely not in time order as you typically would expect a story unfolding, which I like. It creates mystery, and I don't know, I think it's going to be fun going forwards. So I know I'm updating a lot, but like I'm really enjoying this. Anyway, so I got a bit of context now through some gossip. I'm only 20 pages later than my last checkup, but we got a bit of gossip, and through that gossip we found out some context, which is fun. So this is occurring just after one of the world wars. I'm guessing the second, but I'm not entirely certain which one. It could be either. There haven't been any dates, so unless I have in the first few chapters and I've just missed them or forgotten, so that's fun. I'm 150 pages in now. By now I've sussed out the structure. Each couple of paragraphs are set within a certain day. There was a time jump backwards between chapter 1 and the rest of the chapters, and each like couple of chapters fit into one day, and then the next couple of chapters fit into the day after that. So yeah, that's how it works, and it's a combination of narrative, diaries and letters, which I think is super interesting. The plot's kind of slowed down a bit. A lot of it is gossip, and yeah, I'm going to be staying in the hotel and stuff, so it's kind of slowed down a little bit, but hopefully it will be faster again. Yeah. My location's changed, but not by much. I'm in my room now. I went up to campus to see a few friends, watch a few films, and finish my uni work for the prep work for lectures and seminars this week, because I wanted to be careful with using up my data. So I did that, and now I'm back. It is later on in the evening, nearly 10:30. And I haven't read more of this, but I've done a bunch of reading for uni, so I'm being productive. I'm getting a bit too tired to keep physically reading, so I've got an audiobook that I'm going to start listening to, and that is Case Study by Graeme McRae Burnett. I probably said that very wrong, I'm really sorry. But yeah, I'll update you on how that goes in the morning, and if I read any more of my physical book in the morning too. Hello again. It is the next day, and I wasn't able to read any more of my physical book, but last night and this morning I managed to get quite far into my audiobook. 3 hours and 17 minutes, in fact, quite a while. So I was listening to it while running errands and so on. And yeah. Anyways, this book on my phone I'm listening to is about a woman who thinks that her sister's psychiatrist stroke therapist led her sister to suicide, so she's going undercover as one of his patients in order to figure that out or use something in order to prove it, and it's super interesting so far. She's put together this alias and gone into this therapist kind of thing. It's very stream of consciousness, but the most modern example I've seen of this, because most stream of consciousness I read have been like Virginia Woolf. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. It's fun. It's one of those where I prefer listening to it than reading it. So I'm glad I got it on audiobook and not in a physical book format. It's one of those where, I don't know, it's easier to listen to than to read. Hello again, reading vlog. It's the next evening, and I've made quite a dent in this book. The small section is what I have left, so about 100 pages left, and I'm still enjoying it. It's not very action-packed, it's very conversation-y, let's just say that. Yes, conversation-y. That's a good term for this book. But yeah, I'm still enjoying it. And in terms of the audiobook, I've finished it, and I'm an hour into a new one that I started earlier today, and that was Foundation by Isaac Asimov, which I'm enjoying so far. It's like interplanetary sci-fi politics kind of thing, which is quite interesting and fun, and it follows these scientists that are trying to find out which solar system humans originally came from. So yeah, that one's quite fun. And the previous one that I finished, the one about the lady going to the therapist, that one was fun. She started making herself go a bit mad, and her alias became a second personality as part of her, so she had to wrestle with these two personalities, and also started contemplating some silly things. So yeah, that was very interesting. I liked that book. Anyways, back to my physical book, which I'm reading while I've got like some lo-fi music in the background, but I can't play it because then I'll get copyrighted. So yeah, insert pretend music here. I have finished this book now, and I like it. The sort of tumbling down of the hotel thing happened in the last 2 pages of the book. So the last 100 pages were me being like, oh, it's gonna happen now, it's gonna happen now, I'm really scared. But it didn't happen until right at the end. So that was something. But I still enjoyed the book. It was really good. Yeah. And I'm awake enough to start another physical book, so I downloaded an app so that I can use a random number generator now that I've got no data left. Okay, tap to generate. Woo! 57. The book it ended up being was Sweeney Todd, The String of Pearls. And I'm quite fortunate that it's quite a short book, so I will probably finish it tonight, depending on how tired I get and how much of an early night I feel like I need. I got so sucked into this book that I forgot to update you partway through. So yeah, it's an hour later, it's just over, and I finished it. It's really, really good. You may be familiar with the idea of Sweeney Todd. He's this historical, fictitious character who is a barber who kills his customers, and his associate, Mrs. Lovett, bakes them into pies and this is the collected chapters of the original Penny Dreadful that this story came from. It kind of reminded me of when I was reading the Sherlock Holmes books, because it's set up in a similar way. It would have been published chapter by chapter in some sort of paper, and yeah, I really loved it. I really loved it. There are some differences and adaptations made from this into the musical version, which I'm familiar with. For example, they changed a character called Mark in this into Anthony, and they also made the judge and Joanna's controlling family the same kind of character when they're different people in the book. I understand why they did that, to keep the cast kind of smaller. Otherwise you'd have had to include her aunt, her mum and dad, any other family members that are important to her backstory. Also in this, Tobias, who's turned into Toby in the musical, he's an adult in this, and he's also the apprentice of Sweeney Todd as well as the baker, which is super interesting and fun. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I really recommend it as well. I don't think many people have really heard of the String Pearls. I mean, I've always liked the story of Sweeney Todd, but I'd never heard of it up until like a couple of months ago. But yeah, I really recommend it. Anyways, it's getting quite late now, so I'll probably listen to about 15 minutes to half an hour of an audiobook until I fall asleep. And yeah, I will hopefully catch you up tomorrow. Hello again, vlog. It is the next day. I had a lesson, I went to that, and I'm going over to my partner's later, so I might have a little bit of time to read here, and I will be reading some manga online when I'm at my partner's house. I think we're also going to be doing a little bit of uni work because my teachers are on strike tomorrow, so we'll be doing stuff together to try and make up for the fact that we're not going to like the seminar. So yes, that is the plan. I've got my early lunch starting. I'm having a pot noodle because I'm out of bread and I've used up my weekly food budget, so I'll get bread next week. Anyways, after I do a little bit of housework, I will be able to read another book. Oh, sorry about that. That was my phone telling me to add some soy sauce. I don't know if you can hear the rain, but it's so atmospheric, honestly, because all my windows are skylights, so I can hit the rain really loudly, and I like it. Some people might not, but I love it. I'll also talk about reading. Yes, I will have enough time to read a book, or at least start one. I mean, I've got like a book that I'm nearly finished, but I don't feel like reading it now. I'll read it another time. Anyways, also audiobook. I've been listening to it throughout the day because obviously I normally, while doing stuff, put on a YouTube videos in the background, and because I don't have Wi-Fi, I've been putting on my audiobook. So I'm quite a ways into it, 4 hours and 43 minutes, and I listen at 1.5 speed, just because that's what I do. Some people are able to read at 3 times speed, and it's like, how can you comprehend? They have like magic listening powers, honestly. I'm going to eat my pot noodle and listen to my audiobook, and then do some housework while still listening to my audiobook, and if I have a little bit of spare time, I will catch you up and I don't know, maybe have time to read a physical book. It's 2 weeks later now. I have Wi-Fi and I forgot to film an outro for this video, so here I am now, and this video's up a lot later than I intended it to be. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again for another video soon.